Welcome to the Sure Clean Training video 2012. Look forward to your feedback from the video and hope it's worthwhile and interesting for you.
Training video 2012. Hope it finds you well. Just going to run through a quick couple of things on level cleaning, how to make things quicker and easier for us to clean our windows, and hopefully more money for you and us, and a good 2012. Basically, when we have the poles and we're extending the poles, quick tip, when we're extending it, use your leg best you can, which means the weight is off your arms. The weight is off your arms, and the best position when you're extending the pole, for health and safety reasons, is make sure you use your leg. Just take the weight of the poles, all the weight of the poles on the leg, got one hand free for extending the poles. Come closer. When you're closing the poles or extending them, make sure the best thing to reduce wear and tear is to ensure that they're always quick release fastenings, always stay in line. If they're out of alignment, that means the wear and tear on the pole is two-dimensional, one way up and down, and obviously side to side when we're adjusting the pole. So reduce the wear and tear on the pole when extending, and bringing it back down. Make sure that they're all in line and they stay in line all day. The top two poles, when we come to extending and bringing it back down, retracting the pole back down, the top two should always stay at a certain distance apart. So the top two sections never should be closed fully, because the wear and tear point will always be on the same area. So if we use the poles, always keep the top two sections, or even three sections, just slightly open at all times, which means that the wear and tear will always be varied on the top section of the pole. When we come to put the poles down, there should only ever be one way to put it down, which is basically prepping the floor, head of the brush against the wall, because if we put it down on the floor, in that position, there's more wear and tear, and dirt will be picked up along the brush. If we put the butt of the pole down anywhere near grass or foliage, then obviously muck and dirt will go into the butt of the pole and there'll be more wear and tear. So we're trying to look after our pole as best we can when we're window cleaning. Levels, as you know. Basically, if we look at house across the road, number 62 is basically a bog standard house. Level cleaning will comprise of cleaning the top level of the upper floor, the bottom level of the upper floor. Then we'd go into the door while it's still dripping from above, clean the bottom two small panes, and then onto the bottom pane. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 levels of cleaning, which basically means the level cleaning helps us in time, because you're not waiting for dripping from above or contaminated water from above coming down. So when we rinse, there's never nothing dripping from above on a video, on a clean. So when we go into level clean, so that's the basic standard kind of house. We've got another house across the road which has got a sloping roof between the two upper floor and the lower floor. So this area here means when water drips down, the roof is protected. And so for this house, then level cleaning doesn't necessarily mean that you have to clean up top to bottom. This house, we'd start at the bottom level because it's protected, then go to the door, then go to the top level, and then back down to the bottom window, which we'll demonstrate in a minute. The third kind of house is a house with an extension. So if you have a house that's got a wraparound roof, it's partial to the property. So this property is a typical example of an extension. For this one, again, we'd start at the lower level. We start at the lower level because they're protected from the roof above. Then move on to the door, go upstairs to the left, across, back down to the drip-free windows which we started on already, and then across to the final panes over here, which we'll demonstrate again at the moment. Wear and tear points on the van and equipment, ideally the back of the van, we should always stay dry and drip-free, which means that there's less rot and wear and tear on the old girl. With regards to wear and tear on the equipment, like we said, wear and tear is quite excessive, or can be excessive on the poles themselves. To stop that, none of the poles should ever come into contact with the building, apart from the brush head.
Hang on.
And the brush butt. See, when we put it down, we always put it down that way. That's the only way the brush ever goes down, is head against the building, brush butt against the floor. So that's the 2 points of contact, never on a mucky or a muddy surface. And if we do look at the sections, some of the sections, excessive wear and tear, where they've rubbed against a roof or a sill or a building, these parts should never come into contact like so with the building. So we should always get into a position, overextend the pole is a better thing to do, rather than be at the limit where you're holding the back of the butt of the pole. You should always overextend, so the butt should remain between foot and knee height off the floor. So whatever point we're cleaning, extend the poles at that point. That's better for your health and safety, for your manual handling, and also it's better because there's not much weight on your arms where it ends up rubbing the sections of the pole against a roof or an overhang to damage the sections. Basically, the other wear and tear point can be on the microbore itself, dragging it against the wall and causing friction, or end up in dog's mess or unsightly things in the garden. So whenever we take the reel off the van, make sure always remove the reel off the van, go to the furthest point away. So we're trying to avoid basically the microbore should never come to a point where it's rubbing against the wall and scuffing, causing wear and tear and causing excessive pulling on the microbore cable, because that's the two wear and tear points on the van. So once we've got to a point where we've got plenty of cable, in bites is preferable, then off to the cleaning. So I'm just going to demonstrate cleaning in levels on a property where there's an extension to the side. So again, on approach to the property, make sure we remove the mats